Insulate Britain are now roundly humiliated and must end their dangerous campaign of eco-terrorism on the M25. They are hypocrites, criminals and attention-seeking losers with no care about the health and the safety of their fellow citizens. It's taken senior politicians and the rest of the media too long to follow the lead of this show and others on this channel and realise just exactly what these bearded loons really are about and how they should be treated. After pathetic, soft-touch policing, this was my advice on Monday night to the government as to how to deal with the group. The Home Secretary, Priti Patel, has pushed law enforcement to take decisive action on Insulate Britain. But we're not seeing that yet, and it's not good enough. Arrest them, then lock them up and throw away the keys as far as I'm concerned. And where we lead, the government followed. Today, Patel and Transport Secretary Grant Shapps vowed to grant police maximum powers that will see these crims faced arrest and a potential instant jail term for contempt of court. The pair of cabinet ministers wrote in the Daily Mail, the police have our full support to take decisive action and we're working with National Highways to take legal action against the protesters to ensure they cannot keep disrupting and endangering people's lives in this way. We are giving them powers to better manage such guerrilla tactics in the future. In the medium term, the Police Crime Sentencing and Courts Bill will put public nuisance on a statutory footing, ensuring there are appropriate sentences for the harm caused. Now, on Tuesday night, you probably remember I exposed one of the leaders of Insulate Britain as a no-good hypocrite who hasn't even bothered to insulate his own home.
No,
why don't you want me to raise this?
Because
you don't want me to raise this because you're embarrassed about it.
No, I'm not embarrassed.
You are, because
but it is embarrassing.
Because you live in quite a posh, nice house in southwest London, and
but
according to the Sun, Liam, it's single glazed, has no cavity wall insulation, and uses gas central heating. So you're not practicing what you preach at all, are you? Why have you not spent the money to insulate your home?
Dan, this is kind of like really. You could do better than this, mate.
Just answer the question.
Dan,
Liam.
you know me.
Answer the question.
You know that you could do better than this, mate, right? So, and the thing is like you.
If I was turning the country upside down for a particular cause, I would make damn sure that the cause that I was propagating was something that I would follow.
Dan, you're struggling to.
Yeah, because I'm embarrassed for you, Liam. Because you're
embarrassed for me. Come on, mate. Look, you need to do a bit more investigation into that home because it's a social housing home, so it isn't posh, is it?
Why are you waiting for the government to pay to do this? Why don't you pay for it yourself? You're a well-off bloke.
Insulate Britain is about truth, looking at the reality, Dan, right? We need to look at the reality, and the reality is, even if I could...
why is your house not insulated?
Dan...
Just answer the question.
Dan, if I could insulate that house, that isn't the point here. There are millions of people that aren't going to, and that's the truth.
And where we lead, Good Morning Britain follows. This morning, Liam Norton took his national humiliation tour to ITV, even pathetically storming off set when our very own Dawn Neeson pressed him on the truth.
Why haven't you insulated your own home for a start? Because I think where you're coming from is pure hypocrisy as well.
Sorry, is that the case? Is your home not insulated, Liam?
Susanna, whether my...
Just answer the question, Liam. It's not, is it? We know it's not. And
whether my home is insulated or not doesn't change the fact that millions of people's homes aren't insulated.
Hang on a moment.
Not
Sorry,
going to be.
Is this the case? You're saying you would risk your life for Insulate Britain, but you're not going to insulate your own home?
What we're talking about is the future of our country.
Yes.
Our country is going to be destroyed if we don't get this sorted out.
Doesn't that start at home?
Well, you know, insulation costs thousands, tens of thousands of pounds. You're aware of that. We've been writing petitions for 30 years. We've been pleading with our government for 30 years.
You're risking people's lives.
And what we're saying to the government is this. This is our line in the sand. We are demanding that the government make a meaningful statement to save the future of this country. And if they refuse to do it, then they can put us in prison. And that's the Home Secretary's decision. And I've had enough of talking to people in this country about what we're doing.
You're doing appears.
This is the state of things.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Now, look, it's easy to laugh at these complete morons. But you wouldn't be laughing if it was your relative who missed potentially life-saving medical treatment as they were stuck in traffic for 6 hours on the blocked M25. And you wouldn't be laughing if it was your relative injured in a pile-up, which police are currently investigating as a potential consequence of these idiots' criminal action. So while it's pleasing to see the promise of genuine law enforcement, the government and the police should have been prepared for this type of eco-terrorism, given what we've seen from the Extinction Rebellion mob in the past couple of years. Next time, they must be ready for Insulate Britain. The BBC Director General Tim Davie says he has no idea if any of his executives voted for Brexit. I can help him on that one. They didn't. The Beeb's failure to pick up the mood of the country prior to the referendum, the UK's biggest act of democracy in history, let's never forget, is a stain I don't believe they will ever recover from. His claim to want to stamp out institutional groupthink is risible. After all, he's just hired openly left-wing journalist Jess Brammer, who is of course anti-Brexit, to become the boss of their news channels. No wonder hundreds of thousands more people every year stop paying the licence fee tax. The moral panic around the 3 Strictly Come Dancing professionals who have chosen not to have the COVID vaccine must end. There's a national witch hunt, to identify the trio, even though they've done absolutely nothing wrong, nothing illegal. We all have control over what goes into our body, and there are a multitude of reasons why they might not want to be jabbed, including, by the way, the possibility that they have natural immunity already. We must not enter a papers-please, two-tier society where only the vaccinated are given certain human rights. And MCC, who own Lords, have amended the laws of cricket to officially replace the term batsman with batter. They say they want to reinforce cricket's status as an inclusive game for all, but that really wasn't necessary.